Hey, why ain't you running?
Well, I can't read.
I got you covered. So it's Omar, the AI coach, and I'm back with another hot product or another hot topic. So again, these aren't innovations of my own. My goal is to get you guys comfortable with using AI by playing around with some of the hot technology that's out there, right? So today I introduced Notebook LM. Notebook LM is actually offered in partnership with Google. It's a cool little program that allows you to, in a sense, it can synthesize large amounts of data. So, for instance, in my use case, I'm a very academic person. So I took a textbook and I wanted it to transcribe some of the high-level concepts in one of the chapters of the textbook and into a podcast. And it did that. It was a very conversational podcast. You couldn't tell the difference. You couldn't tell it wasn't robotic in a sense. It was very conversational. There were two voices that were engaging in conversation, just walking through some of the concepts, and it was amazing. For if you're a person like myself who you consider yourself a continuous learner, you listen to audiobooks, podcasts, YouTube, you while also enjoying a book, right? Because there's right now I don't know what's going on. Apparently, if you listen to podcasts and audiobooks, you're a dumbass, which isn't true at all. You just like to consume very high level information. I don't know, quickly. That's how I see it. Best time I have to listen to podcasts and audio is in the shower, on a commute, on a long commute to work, and in between doing menial tasks in preparation to cook. I find myself listening to audiobooks or podcasts. So just because you don't like indulging in physical material books, don't get discouraged. But back to my main point. So yes, right here you can see the workbook that I've already been working on, Introduction to Administration. And I'll click here just to give you a sample of what that turned out to look like. So here you can already see it's been indexed, and if you click here, it'll take you specifically to where in the guide or the PDF that you attach that information is being referenced. And that's another value point there, because one of the big complaints about AI is it hallucinates, meaning that sometimes you could give it a general idea, but then it'll go off the rails and start saying whatever the hell it wants based on this infinite amount of information that's accessible on the website. But with this, for sure that the information is being cited, it's been referenced in the context that you give it. So there you can see that's the PDF I introduced. Don't tell the feds. I'm one of those people who, during grad school, in undergrad, I used to buy all my books. In grad school, I connected with people who had access to PDFs to these materials, and they were readable PDFs, meaning I could control F and search through the text to find exactly what I needed. And so if you're in college right now, pro tip, all right, carry on. So get back to my main page. I had already created this untitled book here. And just for the sake of being quick, I'm just gonna pull something up here. Like I said, very academic person. So this is my MPA, Masters of Public Administration folder. That PDF I just uploaded was actually a negotiations document or a negotiations textbook for a negotiations class that I had taken in grad school. And let's see, looks like it's uploading, it's thinking, and boom, there we go. Essentials of Negotiation. So I uploaded the textbook. You can see that it's summarizing it here. And along with summarizing the information, the uploading it, it recognizes everything that's in that PDF. So it's already generating questions. How does negotiation theory explain diverse real world scenarios? And I'm sure I could ask it things more specific or not already prompted here, and it'd be able to find it. And so I asked it that question, how does negotiation theory explain diverse real world scenarios? And it did. It spit out an answer based on the context of the material that I uploaded. So there you have faith that is accurate. Again, ChatGPT, AI, generative AI in general, all these different programs out there, they're not supposed to be a one-stop shop to fix your problems. It's more so supposed to be used as a reference, at least in my sense, or at least that's how I'd recommend that you use it. For me, my take on AI is that it will create a generation of lazy scholars, people who want to be spoon-fed information. They'll put in a quick little prompt, get the answer, and won't dig any deeper. People like myself, you ask it a question, you'll want to dig deeper. This is its specific take or its general answer. Now let me read this text myself and get my own interpretation of what this specific theory is telling me. Or let me try to argue against this theory, right? Because that's what you do on the academic side of things. You don't just take things for as they are. You try to challenge it and find the flaw. And if there's none, then it is what it is, right? So another benefit to this platform, as I mentioned earlier, is its ability to generate audio. And I promise you, when I play you this audio, you're going to be in complete awe. Takes a minute. Could be my Mac. My Mac is a little bit dated, so once I get my subscribers up and everything, I'll upgrade. But right now, I got a 1 terabyte Mac, so lots of data, lots of space. I believe I got it in 2017, so it's been working for me. In the meantime, while that's still generating the conversation, and you know what? I think the problem is trying to generate a conversation given the entire context of the book. So for the sake of just an example, I'm just going to do an audio overview. So let's see how long this takes to generate. This program, it's been out there. It was actually recommended to me by a colleague. Their specific purpose for using it was in working in a profession that had a lot of training demands, but it was very run and gun, on the go. So there wasn't a lot of time to just sit down and do this, right? So they wanted to take the training materials and put it in an audio format. So when they were riding around on the go, they were consuming the information and allowing them to fulfill their training requirements. So very, very innovative, creative solution, right? While taking the steps to make sure that they continue to be in compliance with their employment requirements. And that's one possible use case for this. And you can continue to build sources on the material that you compile together. So my only source for this is this PDF, right? Well, let's say I had a very specific video on YouTube that I found pertaining to negotiations, right? Maybe like an actual example. Well, I could plug it in here. It would transcribe the video, analyze the context of the video, and factor that into this as well. And then, of course, whatever additional text you put in there to supplement whatever you're trying to do. So, how about this? Edit and cut to the next video because it took a little bit of time for this to download, as I was stating before. So when you upload the PDF, it will come out in an audio format, allowing you to create an audio overview. And I believe this is just a broad audio overview. It's 23 minutes long, and again, it's very conversational. It may not hit on everything, nor do I intend on allowing this podcast or allowing the audio to play over everything, but I'm just going to give you a sample of how this sounds.
Back to the deep dive. We're always diving into something, and this time it's all about negotiation. Back and forth we do, maybe more often than we realize. And to guide us, we've got excerpts from Essentials of Negotiation, the 7th edition.
Negotiation, it's a lot more than just getting what you want. There's psychology involved, strategies, even a subtle kind of dance between claiming and creating value.
I like that, a dance. It makes sense though, right? Whether you're at work prepping for a tough conversation or, I don't know, trying to get a raise or even just like figuring out family vacation plans, it's all negotiation. So this deep dive, it's for you.
Definitely. And we're not just going to summarize the book. We want to give you those real world applications, the aha moments.
See, again, like I said, it's very conversational. There are two voices, a male and a female voice. And I've noticed that in the past audio overviews that I've created. It's the same dynamic, the male and the female voice. I don't know if you can adjust those settings or to dictate this female conversational male. I'm sure there is a way, or if not, in the future, later down the line, it'll be something to consider. But again, it's not robotic. It's not. Sometimes you run into those YouTube videos, and it's just clearly somebody copied this and put it through one of those little stupid robotic voiceover systems, and they recorded the audio, they posted it to the video. Somebody's watching it because these videos have a lot of views. They're usually those infographic videos. No, this is conversational, it's fluid, you think these are real people. If I let it continue on, one of the ones I created, there's a little witty humor, right? It's crazy how close this mimics actual human conversational behavior. But another possible use for this is if you're podcasting, right? Let's say you're an introvert. Let's say you never want to be on camera. Let's say, again, you want to do one of those infographic videos. You gather all the information, all the details, all the text, right? You type up the logic for this. You run it through as a source, right? And then you generate the audio. So now that conversational audio is 100% based off of whatever you add in there. Oh, here's the kicker. If you want to add additional food for thought, right? So add additional sources. Maybe it's commentary on a video that is counter to a point that you're making in your original document, right? There's endless opportunity for this. And again, it's one of those things that if you don't get on it earlier, if you don't get on it soon, somebody else is going to beat you to it. And I guarantee you that if you are an avid podcast listener, somebody or one of the podcasts that you've come across probably has leveraged this to their benefit. So let me know what you think about this. If it sucks, if it's cool, if you want to hear more about it, if you want to see more examples of how to use it, please let me know in the chat or send me a DM, or better yet, send me a calendar invite and I'll get you scheduled for a one-on-one. We'll see how something like this could be used in your organization. All right, till we meet again.